only know that half of it, they still tell it all. The same people believe in anything they saw. I'm too busy minding minds, I can't deal with.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of the Dad Shift Podcast, hosted by your boy Lo Brown, coming live from the State Beach Studios, downtown Columbus. Once again, I got my boy Ray Bun on the production. And today, I got one of my main homies on the podcast, my boy Frank, Francais, however you want to go by. You let the audience know, man. How you feeling today?
I feel good, man. First and foremost, I appreciate you having me on.
For sure, for
You
sure.
sent me that text message. It meant a lot, bro. So
Yeah. I know we was
here.
talking about this last year.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Things just wasn't structuring out how I wanted to structure out, and then realized, like, bro, I really don't have any time to do this, So,
Yeah.
but it could have been an excuse. I could have found a way just now. I was like, fuck it. When I seen Ray Bun was at the State Beach doing his photography work last week, and I was like, let me look and see what they got going on. And I found out they had a podcast set up room. I used to go here to record music a while back, and it was just the studio, 2 studios. But he added T.Y. Willis. He added a lot to the studio the last I've been here. But yeah, man. Good to have you, man. I'm glad that you pulled up to have some conversations. I think it's really going to liven up the podcast a lot. Would love if you could be, if you want to always come through, cool. If you let me know. I'll send you a text when I'm recording and you want to pull up, man, pull up.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I reached out to some other homies too. They want to be a part of it too as well. It'd be nice to have a couple more people here just to, see where everybody's mindset on, because I think everybody pretty much thinking about the same thing as we trying to figure out this, fatherhood, so. Yeah, man. So just real brief, man. You just tell people what you want to share just about yourself, just to get them to know you a little bit better, So let's get it.
So yeah, like I said, I appreciate having me on the show. My name is Francais, from Dayton, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
Father of a 7-year-old amazing kid, Navy vet, lived in Japan, lived in Hawaii, been all around the world. Had the opportunity of, experiencing different things with life, what makes people happy, compared to what makes people happy here in the States.
For sure.
But that definitely changed my perspective on life, like changed my emotional, my mental, my spirituality, everything, man. So, I feel like, we got some stuff to share.
Hey, now we need all that wisdom. The whole point of this podcast is to, have people on here to share the different experiences. With you, traveling overseas, is you seen things that I'll say 70, 80% of the people have never seen.
Man.
Especially being in the military, which big salute to your service.
Thanks for the
having
support.
friends in the military, man, I don't know, it just hit a little different, you know what I mean? Like, because that's a crazy sacrifice. You never know what could happen. Like, right now it's a little crazy. Like, I know there was a gentleman from Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
That a lot of people, I ain't know him like that, but a lot of people I know knew him. Mm-hmm. And, like, I guess that really hit a lot of people. So the city really, showing him respect, pretty much. I don't want to say his name out of respect and without permission of, the family and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure if you're in Columbus, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, man, thank you for pulling up. Today, man, we're going to talk about the cost of having a kid presently and projected costs. If you haven't heard, this is not every state. This is just a pretty much a overview of what they say is the cost of raising a kid from birth to at least 18 years old. They saying that it's over $300,000 from birth to age 18 in 2026 to raise a kid, approximately averaging over 16,000 a year. Ridiculous. And they saying that jumped from what is it, like 29% or some crazy number they said, like
I think like 28%.
Yeah,
like that, 26 to 28.
28 to 30%. crazy. And I know majority of that cost is daycare. And personally, that's why, currently my wife, she's a pretty much a stay-at-home mom now because basically her whole check would have went to daycare.
Yeah.
Like if we talking full-time daycare, it might as well just be at home with the kids and just take care of some things until we figure it out, whatever it is to figure out. I don't think it's no way above it unless you're getting more money. And and that's a whole thing in itself. But what's your opinions about that? Before you get started, I know in Ohio they're saying it's around $220K a month.
A month?
Not a month, shit. A year.
Like, boy.
A year, man. Crazy, man. Crazy. Like in Ohio. And man, how you feel about that?
When you want well for your kids, man, like sometimes the number, like you don't really pay attention to the number because it's just like you want your kid to be in the program, whether that's tutoring, whether that's sports, especially as they get older. So you just do whatever you need to do to make it work. I'm not the most like financially, analytical type of person where I got a spreadsheet and, budgeting, what I'm saying? It's more of the thing where it's just like, because I'm not married, right? And I don't have the opportunity to have my son every day like I want him. So there's a thing where that comes in place where like, oh, if my son wants something, all right, let's figure out how to make it work.
Right.
But now that he's older, those wants are more expensive. And so, it is taxing, I think about it now with the summer, like I want to have my son for the summer. I usually get him every other week in his breaks. And so, when you're talking about summer camp, man, especially here in Columbus, like with a good summer camp that match around my working hours.
Right.
Man, you're talking about what, $350 a week. So that's about $1,200 a month, just off the top before you even talk about food. And my kid is big, so he eats.
Yeah.
So he eats, and you talk about clothing and everything else that comes into play. So, it made me start looking at money more because, before then, being on deployment and, you have money saved up, you just spend, and you invest into whatever you want to invest into. But now my kid, I'm like, all right, I really need to start putting money aside just for his activities, and it's expensive. I come from a household, man, where I got 6 brothers and sisters, same thing. My pops was the man working. My mom, she tried to, start her own business, but it was mainly my pops bringing in the money. And so, you grow up, him raising 6 kids and then his wife, and then you be like, oh, okay, you can't wait to get out the house and experience the world. I got 1 kid, and I'm like, boy, what? This is expensive.
Yeah, man.
So the time's different. So it's to wrap up, what I'm saying is like, it motivates you to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like I am very critical on myself. I try not to be too stagnant. Right. I'm always thinking of ways to like, improve my life so I can improve his life, and improve his experiences in his life. So it's not easy. It's not easy, bro.
100%. Yeah. And the inflation don't help out with that, man. I think that's due to most of it. It's the inflation and daycare and food, especially for the families who don't get like food stamps or anything like that. Like food is like good food, healthy food.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, man. Yeah. And I don't know. I just don't understand why it's like that, and it affects us, and it mainly the African American Black community, or how you want to say it. Like it really, because it's a lot of low income families out here who have multiple kids. There's no way they spending. They be lucky to touch $200K for a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a staggering number, a number that I don't look at as well. I also, I came from a single parent household. My grandma, she was there too. So I don't know how you would call that, but she helped raise us most of the time while my mom was at work. And my mom, we got, there's 5 kids in the house. So, I know for sure that wasn't easy on her understanding like, probably half her budget just came on food and making sure we had our clothes for school and all that. And, as a kid, I kind of realized that kind of early, probably like at the age of like, I don't know, I ain't gonna say early, probably fifth, sixth grade. And I realized like, damn, like this shit stretching thin. You know what I mean? But like with me, so we decided to, have my wife work from home for other reasons as well. Like she just felt she didn't want to have our daughter in daycare. And I feel that because I didn't want it either. So especially so early. And then whole job situations kind of hit the fan, things that was said and they kind of flipped and, that kind of made the decision like, hey, it's probably best to, you stay home. Let's see how this shit work for the next 6 months, even though I mean, and if shit get a little tight, then we'll discuss it from there. But good thing we got a good, good village in the sense that if anything happened to at least the kids, I know the kids gonna be cool. Yep. Me, like I survived off 20 a week before back in like when I was going to school or just on my own where like majority of my paycheck just went towards my rent and bills, like or studio sessions where like I got 40 for the next 2 weeks to make sure I get food or whatever I need to do. So I'll be okay, but I don't want my kids to suffer due to, how things cost. Even now, I had told my wife, I was like, hey, if we got to cut back on some things, let's not let the kids suffer from that. Yes, get this zoo pass real quick. So if we don't do anything, we can go to, the kid. Well, my son like going to the zoo at least. And they got the water park, whatever. Let's get some things already right now so our kids don't really feel this slight or this temporary shift. First and foremost, because I want my kids to experience being a kid and not being left out, or I don't want them to experience first things when they are older age, like type stuff. Like, so yeah, the money thing is pretty. We need to talk about it though. We need to talk about money. We need to talk about money. And I read a stat that says 80% of people in the U.S. don't even have 500 in their savings, or something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You mentioned something interesting, and that's been something on my mind a lot. First and foremost, like, I think especially with a lot of like how we were raised as kids, coming from either a single parent household or having multiple siblings. You miss out on certain experiences.
Right.
For me, like I missed out on experiences because my pops and mom was always gone trying to bring money in the house. So that required me to watch my brothers and sisters and cook.
Facts.
and make sure they were ready for school and,
Facts.
On top of the chores. And then I went to, a pretty academically challenging school, aggressive school, day and early college academy. So, on top of doing homework and, I won't say raise my brothers and sisters, but what I'm saying, because I'm not going to disrespect my parents, but like,
right.
I definitely had to, fill some shoes with making sure my younger siblings were taken care of.
Right.
And so you miss out on a lot. So now as a parent, I feel like sometimes because we miss out, we push a lot on our kids. Like, man, I didn't have the J's growing up. So like, I'm gonna make sure my kid in J's, or I didn't get to go on this trip. So I'm gonna work crazy hours as a kid. So therefore, my kid can do that. And, having a young kid, like you want that, but a lot of times kids' wants and needs is very simple.
Yeah, so especially at a young age.
It'd be very simple. Like you just take them to the park and they fine with like throwing the ball around and stuff like that.
My son love the park. Yeah. My son get hyped by, man, we can go to the corner store.
Yeah.
And he get hyped going to the snack section. You know what I mean? Like, man, get my boy some fruit snacks and some M&Ms or something. Like he good. Like that's why like we do put that pressure on us. Like, hey, we gotta hit it on the head like every trip. And I kind of learned my lesson by these birthday parties I gave my son. Like, it was cool. Like, his his second birthday was at, like, Chuck E. Cheese. And I don't even think he really even Like I can say he cared, but like it was 2 years. He just turned 2. Like you know, what I mean, I didn't have to do that just yet. You know, he cool. His last birthday was at his grandma's house, and he was cool having it. And her, you know, they got a pretty nice house out in Northeast Ohio, and yeah, he just chilling in the basement with his other cousins, and like he had a great time just doing that little stuff. And you know, me sitting back, I'm like, yeah, like I don't have to put too much pressure on myself to make sure he's experiencing something that, you know, I wish I experienced more often as when I was a kid. Right. And I think we got to start thinking about it as like, you know, at least making it that we at least have that option. I don't want to not have that option or feel like I don't have that option. Like I want to at least have it enough where like, all right, if he's starting to understand his birthdays now and that it's a celebration, and if he want to go back to Chuck E. Cheese or Scene 75, or they got this new spot that I just got hip to in Polaris, some type of like arcaded, like I forget the name, but I had just got hip to it.
Oh yeah. I heard about that spot.
Yeah,
actually,
on Gemini Place or something like that. Don't know the name, but like I want to be able to do it. Thank y'all for listening to another episode of the Dad Shift Podcast. For more content, just follow us on YouTube at the Dad Shift Podcast, or follow me on Instagram or TikTok at OneLowBrown. Till then, see y'all soon.
The same people believe in anything they saw. I'm too busy minding minds, I can't deal with y'all. That's why I stay